Hello students, I am Johnson. In this video, you will learn about chapter number 2, Kingdom Classification 1. The following learning objectives are Kingdom Fungi in general characters, bread mold, nutrition, respiration, uses of fungi, diseases caused by fungi in humans and in plants. In this picture, you will observe different kinds of organisms and grows on the dead some leaves and wood material and me even moreover in some food items and some of the organisms in microscopic. So fungi we can observe in macroscopic also and microscopic also, and moreover some waste material unwanted substance and moreover in food material. So this is the fungi characters. So it survives some other organic matter, dead organic matter, and also some foods material. The kingdom fungi, the general characters are fungi are non-green multicellular plants. So it does not contain green pigments. It is a multicellular plants. Yes, of course, it does not contain green pigments, only the green pigments in a green plants. The lack of chlorophyll, so we are clearly observe, we know what a kind of nutrition. It is an heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Yes, they cannot make their own food and are heterotrophs in nature. Yes, they show either parasitic uh, or saprophytic mode of nutrition. Parasitic means the fungus, a fungus lives inside or in lives any other living organisms. It can settle inside the body. It will take all the nourishment and nutritions. It will observe. It is taken by the fungi. Come to the third point. They show either parasitic or saprophytic mode of nutrition. Parasitic means fungus. It lives inside the host and it will take lot of food material and finally cause disease or some spread to any other harmful substance to the host organism. And saprophytic mode of nutrition means the nutrition taken by the fungi where it is from may be dead and decaying matter, dead organic matter or decaying matter, may be plants and animals. Yes, that is called a saprophytic mode of nutrition. Fungi may be unicellular, multicellular, and filamentous. Fungi may be an unicellular and moreover multicellular and filamentous structure. Depending on the shape of the fungus, there are three types. Based on the structure of the body, we are classified into three major groups in fungus. The first one, thread like bread mold. Thread like bread mold. Thread we know clearly observe look like an small, very lean of the structure, look like our hair like. Okay, thread like bread mold. And second one, club shaped mushroom. Yes, you can see the mushroom how it is that look like umbrella like structure in the top of the region. They having a covered, not circular, it's a semicircular, look like a club shaped mushroom. And third one, sac shaped yeast. Sac shaped yeast, I show you the next slide. Sac mean, yes, space of the look like a bud like structure in presence in yeast. Yes, the first one, thread like bread mold. Yes, thread like bread mold. Thread like means a small very thin line structure look like a hair like formation. So where it is occurred in bread. So bread having a fungus present, that is called that mold, look like an thread like manner. Yes, see this both this picture, the bread covered with the small yellow or a green like particles that is having a bread mold. Yes, that bread mold having a thread like manner. Yes, the next one, club shaped mushroom. Yes, mushroom having a top of the head look like a semicircle, like a club shaped, and bottom of that like narrow in position. So where we can see on the mushroom, yes, that organism after the rainy, after rain, after 2 days, after 3 days, after the next morning, we can see what happened. Lot of mushrooms grow on the maybe near the plant edges, maybe the near the plant edges or any other wood material. Yes, the mushroom can grow easily. Yes, third of the fungus structure is sac shaped yeast. When a yeast on the body appearance look like a sac, we are called, and also we said bud like structure. Yes, sac is a bud like structure in yeast. What happened that sac having a on the top of the body appearance, not top of the body appearance, it is a covered whole body. Third one, sac shaped yeast. The sac means look like a bud like in nature. The body of the organism having a small appendages from the outgrowth of the body of the yeast, it comes on the bud, so it is shape of the sac shaped yeast in yeast. The third of the shape in fungus. The next one, bread mold. Bread mold, the where is present in the mold in bread. Yes, especially you can see this both picture normal bread having a normal in position, normal in good condition. After 2 or 3 days, we are kept on the open space. What happened? That the bread having the like a cotton like structure on the formed on the bread slice and develop into the like a thread like manner. Now, bread is a multicellular fungus. It appears as cottony white moss on the rotten bread. Yes, once the bread is not to eat, that is a rotten and also bird condition, maybe the decay, that of the bread slice having a form of cottony moss, white moss of the layer appear on the bread slices. What is that? These are thread-like filamentous called hyphae. The body structure is called, the in bread mold is called hyphae. The hyphae are collectively known as mycelium. Yes, commonly the fungus we said in common terms mycelium, hyphae and mycelium. Yes, a single thread like filament is called hyphae. That hyphae collectively known as mycelium. Yes, mostly the hyphae grow on the surface of the rotten food material. It may be chapati, bread or cheese. Not only bread and also other food item also like chapati and cheese. So the rotten material especially grow where what we see in fungus. Mostly the hyphae grow on surface of the rotten food material. It may be chapati, bread and cheese. Some hyphae grow downwards as roots. These hyphae are called rhizoid. Clearly observe the bread slices covered with lot of cottony white moss like structure that contain hyphae. The body structure was commonly we said hyphae. That hyphae grow downwards as root like manner, that is called rhizoid. That hyphae is called rhizoid. Same hyphae grow upward region. Yes, grow an upward region look like a stem in manner, that is called sporangiospores. That is called sporangiospores. So, the same body of the hyphae grows downward. It is called rhizoid. Some hyphae grow upward and are called sporangiospore. The spore sacs appear as black dots on the surface of rotten food material. When we clearly observe on the rotten food material, especially in bread slice, what happened? The black dot is called that spore sacs. Yes. Some common bread molds are rhizophus and mucor. Some common bread molds are rhizophus and mucor. So these are the under the some common mold, especially rhizophus and mucor. Nutrition. Nutrition in fungus, we are taking the rhizophus is saprophytic. A saprophytic already discussed what mean the dead and decaying or dead any other plants and animal. It can take the energy from that material. The hyphae, if the fungus spread through the food medium by means of microscopic tubes. So the hyphae of the fungus spread through some tube-like structure to the food medium, that is called that microscopic tube. That tube, what happened? These tubes contain cytoplasm that flows along their walls. The tubes contain some cytoplasm material that cytoplasm flows along with their cell wall. This tube contains cytoplasm that flows along their walls. Here that cytoplasm having a the tubes contain cytoplasm that flows along their walls. So walls help for the capturing some food and also send to the cytoplasm and finally get the energy. That microscopic tubes some secrete some enzyme. That microscopic tubes secrete some and digestive enzyme to the food material. Once the food material getting the that chemical substance, what happened? Finally it will absorbed by the same hyphae to the back to the hyphae. Yes, the fungi secrete digestive enzyme in the food material. It also absorbs the digested food material back into the hyphae. So finally the hyphae producing to the on the food material, the hyphae secrete some digestive enzymes, and finally that food materials it is absorbed by the same hyphae back to the entire body of the fungus. Respiration. Moles have aerobic mode of respiration. They take in oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. The growth of moles is seen in humid places where there is no sunlight or little sunlight along with the air. So where is moles can grow? Yes, seen in humid places where there is no sunlight along with the air, and moles draw oxygen from the trapped air in between the soil particles. Moles draw oxygen from the trapped air in between the soil particles. The hyphae grows into the soil and exchange of gases take place by means of diffusion through the hyphal walls. Here hyphal wall what happened? Absorb the oxygen with the help of the diffusion of the spread all over the soil. The hyphal wall exchange the gases. So it take the oxygen and release out of carbon dioxide with the help of the hyphal wall. Moles can also exchange gases in an open atmosphere. So moles can exchange gases oxygen and carbon dioxide in the open atmosphere. It is one of the process in the mold. Use of fungi. Fungi decompose dead decaying remains of plants and animals, thus acting as natural scavengers. They make the soil fertile by recycling the nutrients back to the soil. Yes, already I said what happened, all the dead and decaying matter decomposed by the fungus. That fungus, the decomposer of the material goes to the soil. That soil is called fertile soil. Again we are using the recycling, that we are taking to the nutrients to the soil. Yeast is used commercially in different industries such as breweries, for manufacturing in bakeries to make soft, fluffy, and spongy bread. So yeast is a fungus that is used for in bakeries industries and beverages industries. Some species of mushrooms are source of food. Yes, nowadays we are had lot of food item, but especially in mushroom, some of the mushroom food they are used directly. Yes, they are enjoyed as delicious across the world. So lot of use of fungus in all over the world. Day by day we are used in daily our life. Diseases caused by fungi in humans. So diseases caused by fungi in humans, lot of disease caused by the fungus. Especially the major problem or major disease is an food poisoning. What is that? Food poisoning. Yes, diseases caused by fungi in humans. The first one, moles grow on stale bread and moist food substances. They releases toxins which, if ingested, can cause food poisoning. What it happen in the humans? Most of the humans not closed properly in food items, not covered in the food items. For example, on the roadside. Yes, what happened? The roadside of the food material, food prepare the food. It is not very hygienic. So the time what happened? The fungus produces some toxic substance, releases toxic substance. That toxic substance we are ingested can cause food poisoning. The food poisoning is a major illness of human because the food poison may going to dead of the patient. Name of the fungus Aspergillus niger. It is one of the fungus Aspergillus niger. Infection of respiratory system, eyes and ears. Next one, ringworm. A ringworm on the surface of the skin of the area the ringworms formed. It is an trichophyton. The trichophyton is an causative agent of the fungi. It is leads to and cause the ringworm on the skin surface. Next one, a ringworm. The causative agent is an trichophyton. It is an very most of the disease on the skin surface. Yes, once the skin surface it will come of the trichophyton. What happened? We are not cure easily because they travel on one place to another place. Yes, goes on finger and legs and moves and face all the area. What happened? Mostly the ringworm. It is spread easily throughout the body. Yes. And mental disorder, Cryptococcus neoformans. What had happened? This Cryptococcus neoformans, this microorganism of fungus, it lives inside our lungs. It can survive for so many years, and it travel to brain. So this Cryptococcus neoformans first survive inside the lungs and travel to into the brain. So this time we had a headache and fever, so many things and so many symptoms happened. So this is for the mental disorder. It is one of the major disease for the Cryptococcus neoformans. Yes. In plants, bitter rot of apple, Culturtrichum gliosporites. It is a major disease for the especially in apple. So apple is a good for our health. So once what happened, this kind of fungus it will come to the plants. Entire plants of the growth it stopped by this fungus Culturtrichum gliosporites. What it happened? The shape of the apple and content of the apple, and also the nutrient it is totally damaged by this fungus. See this picture, it is entirely disturbed and destroyed of the inside of the fungus. What happened, the fruits is not good not to eat. It is a major threatening disease of the apple. Next one, early blight of potato. The Alternaria solani, it is an fungus name is an Alternaria solani. This fungus rupture on the skins of leaf, and moreover the tubers of the fruit also affected by this Alternaria solani. Once the skin of once affect the leaf of the plant, early blight of potato. Early blight of potato, it is a major disease in potato plant. What it happen, the leaves of the surface is ruptured and leaves damaged by the Alternaria solani, and moreover and tuber of the potato inside it, what happened, not to eat that like in manner, because of the fungus inside it will take the all the food substances, all the energy it will taken by the Alternaria solani, and finally the plant of the growth and stopped by this fungus, and fruit is stopped by this fungus, and entirely this plant it will not survive for in good manner. Loose smut of wheat. Wheat plant having a some disease caused by Ustilogo nuda. This microorganism of fungus, once of the grown of the season right to harvest, that time it is totally spreaded and covered on the fruit, maybe the grains, affected by the Ustilogo nudo. Loose smut of wheat. The wheat plant having several diseases caused by Ustilogo nudo. What happened? Maybe the fruit is ruptured and leaves also ruptured, and the leaves and fruits are totally destroyed by this fungus. And finally, they stopped the photosynthesis and not getting well grown of the and very loose smut of wheat. This kind of disease in wheat plant, the causative microorganism of in fungus Ustilogo nuda. This kind of fungi ruptured the fruit of the seed and grains of the seed of the wheat plant totally disappeared, destroyed, and totally entire wheat plant is disturbed by this fungus. So once it is affected and once entered inside the wheat plant, it will travel all the plants, entirely it is damaged. Thank you student. We will discuss new topic in the next class. Thank you.